Your phone buzzes. It's the friend you made plans with for tonight. And before you even open the message, your stomach is already a little tight. You read it. Hey, so sorry, something came up. Can we reschedule? And then it happens. That warm, quiet wave that moves through your whole body. Your shoulders drop 2 inches. You exhale like you've been holding your breath for hours. Relief. Pure, embarrassing, glorious relief. And then, almost instantly, the second feeling shows up. Guilt. What is wrong with me? I like this person. I wanted to see them. So why does canceling feel like a gift? Here's the thing. That reaction isn't random. It's not a character flaw. It's a clue. And today, we're going to follow it all the way down. Somewhere along the way, you probably learned that this makes you a bad friend, antisocial, flaky, cold. Let me show you the evidence that says otherwise. This isn't a glitch in you. It's code that's been running for a very long time, for a very good reason. Your relief isn't proof that you don't care about people. It's proof that something underneath the surface was working harder than you realized and just got to stop. You're not malfunctioning. You're reading a signal. Most people just never learn how to decode it. So today, we're not going to settle for you're just an introvert or go to therapy. That's surface level. We're going underneath. We're going to look at what your brain actually does in the hours before a social event, why the cancellation hits like a hit of something good, and why the guilt that follows isn't even yours. I'm Cody, and today we're decoding the relief of a canceled plan. Let's open the case file. Let's start with the relief itself, because most people treat it like a mystery. It isn't. It's a readout. Here's what was happening before the text. From the moment that plan landed on your calendar, a small part of your brain, your amygdala, flagged it. Not as danger exactly, as uncertainty. Who will be there? Will it run long? Will I be on? And your body quietly started prepping. A slow trickle of cortisol. A faint background hum of bracing. Think about the afternoon before. You're technically free, but you're not really relaxed. There's a low static under everything you do. You glance at the clock and do the quiet math. If I leave by 7, I'll be home by 11. You're already rationing the energy for tonight, hours before it starts. You might not even have noticed it. Like a smoke alarm with the volume turned almost all the way down, but still on. Then the cancellation arrives. The thing your system was bracing for vanishes. And the relief you feel, that's the cortisol draining out. That's the alarm switching off. In psychology, we call this negative reinforcement, when a good feeling shows up because something uncomfortable stops. So the relief isn't evidence that you hated the plan. It's evidence that part of you was holding tension you never consciously signed up for. The relief is the receipt.
Now, social battery sounds like a cute metaphor. It's closer to literal than you'd think. Your brain is a prediction machine, and it runs on an energy budget. Scientists call the management of that budget allostasis, the brain constantly spending and saving fuel to keep you stable. And socializing is expensive. Reading faces, tracking tone, choosing words, monitoring how you're coming across, quietly editing yourself in real time so you land the way you want to. Picture a normal dinner. Someone tells a story, and part of you is tracking when to laugh. Someone goes quiet, and you're already wondering if you said something wrong. You're scanning the table, managing your face, deciding whether to jump into the gap in the conversation. None of it looks like work. All of it is. That's a huge amount of background processing, like a dozen apps running at once that you can't see but absolutely have to power.
For some people, that bill is small. For others, it's deep. Neither is better. It's just a different blueprint. So when a plan gets canceled, here's what your brain registers. A sudden, unexpected refund. A tank you thought was going to be drained tonight is going to stay full. Of course that feels good. You didn't dodge a friend. You got your fuel back. But there's a deeper layer, and this is the one almost nobody talks about. When you're finally alone, no one to track, no one to perform for, your brain doesn't go quiet. It switches into a different mode entirely. There's a network in there called the default mode network, and it only really comes online when you stop focusing outward. Think of it as your system's maintenance window. It's when your brain files the day's memories, processes your emotions, works on problems in the background, and quietly reassembles your sense of who you are. You know that specific feeling when the night opens back up and you change into the soft clothes, and somewhere around the second hour alone a thought you'd lost finally surfaces and you feel like yourself again? That's not nothing happening. That's the maintenance window running. That's the repair you could feel you needed. This isn't you being lazy or doing nothing. This is essential upkeep. Skip it for too long and everything starts to feel frayed. You get irritable, foggy, thin. So part of that relief? It's your brain recognizing it's about to get the maintenance window it's been needing. It's not running away from people. It's running toward repair.
Which brings us to the guilt, the part that whispers something's wrong with me. Here's the twist. Trace that guilt back, and it doesn't actually start with you. We're wired by evolution to care intensely about our group. For most of human history, being cast out of the tribe was a death sentence, so our brains run a constant, low-level program. Stay connected, stay in good standing, don't be the one who pulls away. That instinct is real and it's powerful. But on top of that ancient wiring, we layered a modern cultural script, that more social always equals more healthy, that wanting space means you're cold, that a good person always says yes. You've felt that script before. The friend who half-jokingly calls you flaky, the little spike of panic when you almost say, "Actually, can we do this another time?" The way you say yes to something 3 weeks out precisely because 3 weeks feel safely far away. That's not your wiring talking. That's the script. So when you feel relief, those two programs collide. Your nervous system says thank you. The borrowed script says you should be ashamed of that. And here's the clue that cracks the case. The relief came from inside you. The guilt was installed from outside. One is your wiring. The other is just code someone else wrote. And you're allowed to question whether you want to keep running it. So, let's read the verdict. Feeling relieved when a plan falls through doesn't make you a bad friend, or broken, or cold. It makes you someone with a working fuel gauge, a nervous system honest enough to tell you the truth about what it has left. That's a feature, not a bug, because here's what comes with it. The same wiring that makes socializing costly is usually the wiring that makes you present when you do show up. You're not the person giving everyone 5 distracted minutes. You're the person who, when the tank is full and you actually want to be there, gives someone the real, whole, undivided you. That's rare. That's worth protecting. So the next time that wave of relief washes over you, you don't have to fight it or feel guilty about it. You can just nod and say, "Message received. Tank's running low. Time for maintenance." And then go give yourself the night your brain has been quietly asking for. Now I'm curious about you. When a plan gets canceled, what's the first thing you do with that free evening? Drop it in the comments. I read these like case notes, and the patterns in there are fascinating. If this one cracks something open for you, subscribe. There are a lot more cases to decode, and I'd love to have you on the next one. Case closed. For now, I'm Cody.